Hi, everyone. And well, let's just all take kind of a collective deep breath because it has been a very, very busy past couple, 2 to 3 weeks. Stuart is shaking his head like that's an understatement. So I thought it would be fun if I just touched base with all of you and we did kind of a little bit of a palate cleanser in between garden courses, if you will. We have enjoyed Hollister House and Hosford House. We still have Bunny Williams' interview and her garden coming up, even more gardens. And we're going to be doing that this weekend. So stay tuned. Bunny Williams comes up this Saturday and Sunday. But other things have been going on too, like a great big wonderful baby shower. We had so much fun. Last night, the Thunder took the NBA basketball championship. It was so fun. There were fireworks going on out in the street. The neighbor kids were going crazy. We Are the Champions was blasting up and down the street. I could even see the Devon Tower downtown in the distance. So that has had us all on edge, but now very, very excited. So there's just a lot to talk about, and I wanted to share some of the finer details with you guys. This may not make a whole lot of sense. It's just kind of a mishmash of different things. But like I say, before we progress with any more videos, I just wanted to catch up. And so what do you say, Stuart?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, we had just an incredible time at the baby shower. Baby mama was absolutely glowing. Everyone was so lovely, and I think had a really wonderful time. So here are some kind of snapshots, some favorite things of mine. Stuart, right here, let's put up when Taylor walked in and was just oohing and awing with her mom. I think she loved the little clothesline that we put up. You guys may recognize some of those pieces of clothing, all compliments of goodwill. And then I hung up a couple of little socks and some flowers. I tucked some hydrangeas in those little sock feet. It was kind of a woodsy woodland theme for the shower. And so I bought some little woodland socks, and this was really probably my very favorite thing. So I went to a local store, one just off of Walker called The Mode, and I bought these tiny little boots. Are they not absolutely precious and very mountain millennial, very mountain baby? And then I took some of those socks, and I'll put the link that I got off of Amazon. See, they've even got no skid. They're not baby Bombas, but they're still pretty cute. And then I tucked a juice glass inside. A little orange juice glass, tucked it inside, and then I tucked these inside the baby boots, and on top of a 4 or 5 tier cake stand. This was my flower arrangement. They were really cute. I bet we've got some pictures of it right here. That may have been one of my favorite things because I'd been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for a while. And then my neighbor lent me some antique wooden blocks. We used those. We used fresh cut greenery from the arborvitae in the back, Sans any bagworms. It was just fabulous. And then, oh my gosh, my friend Jen at Boykin Farm, Stuart, right here, let's put up a picture of her business card. She, by the way, had done lots of catering before for other events, and one of those events was Jenna Bush's. It was either a baby shower or a wedding shower. But the food, I kept telling everyone, not only was it unbelievable, Stuart, would you attest to that?
Yeah.
Not only was the food unbelievable, but she grew or produced most of it. So the eggs came from her chickens. The produce came from her gardens. It was absolutely incredible. So if you guys are in the Oklahoma City area and looking for a caterer, here is my plug for Jen because she did an amazing job. And then also a shout out to Hannah Tubbs, who did the cookies. They were absolutely adorable. And then to my co-hostesses, we just had so much fun. Sam and Robin and Bailey. Well, it was just an absolute delight working with them. Well, today's video is sponsored by Manuka honey, my favorite honey of all time, not only because it supports immunity and gut health, but also because it is just decadent and delicious, creamy and golden. Look at this stuff, guys. Look at this. It is just golden yumminess. So here's a new way that I am enjoying it lately, because in the afternoons I have found that Hubs and I are getting a little peckish, and you don't want to eat something that's sweet and unhealthy for you. You want to eat something like this. And by the way, I think this Manuka is just 60 calories per tablespoon, I want to say. Okay, that is perfect, I can tell. And I also like it when you can see just little lines of the honey in it. And then just take it off up there. Just put it in a little bowl like this. By the way, if you're on the go and your blood sugar gets low or something, then this would be an easy snack. By the way, kids also love this.
They don't know they love it.
Oh, they do know they love it, because the kids have been over in the afternoon when we've been snacking. And then what I like to do is I like to just have some whole nuts. And even better if you warm them up. But if you don't warm them up, then you get the protein of the nuts, of the cream cheese, and the deliciousness of the Manuka honey. Better than chocolate. One of the things that I cherished most was visiting with all of these young gals, some of them already young mothers, some of them not yet married. And we talked about the concept of just these moments, these celebratory moments, these joyful moments, just being a snapshot in time, and how they are so very fleeting. And I can remember talking to the girls, and I said this with some humor, but also with some irony, and that is to really savor these moments, because pretty soon, after the wedding, after your first baby, it ain't about you anymore. You are no longer the center of attention. In many ways, you are no longer the center of your world, at least for a good amount of time. It's the kids, it's the family, it is the ensuing chaos that is family life. And so for a while, it's not about you anymore. And maybe neither should it be. It is about the collective. It's about the family unit. So savor these moments when all the attention is on you at your wedding, and all of the celebrations that lead up to that. When you are pregnant with your first child, because every subsequent child is special, but it's not like your first. And to really savor the moment. And then one of you, I just love this comment, because it made me realize I need to savor the moment. Because one of you said, oh, I haven't been to a baby shower in ages. How fun was it to experience this one? And pretty soon, your kids are going to get older. They're going to be beyond their pregnancy years. Their friends are too. And so even for us grandmothers and things, this is a moment in time. And pretty soon we won't be going to many baby showers until maybe we're going to our grandchildren's children's showers or things. So I think it's really incumbent upon all of us to savor this moment in time at any stage. Whether you are not yet married, whether you're married, whether you are a new mother, whether you are a new father, a new grandmother, these moments in time don't last. And so capture the moment, savor the moment, imprint it in your memory banks, and take lots of pictures. And more importantly, I think, I didn't only enjoy it in the moment. I'm leaving these things up for a little while. I'm talking about it with my friends. I'm talking about it with the co-hostesses, because I want to hold on to the sheer delight of it for just a little longer. Aren't these flowers in this vase absolutely gorgeous? This was a gift from Taylor to the hostesses, and it's absolutely beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, let's talk about Bunny Williams' garden. So last time, I think we talked about her just magical, magnificent estate and gardens. I didn't have this book to show you. So this is Bunny Williams' Life in the Garden, and we will, of course, put a link to it. And I'm pinching myself still that I was actually in these places. Stuart, do some of them look familiar to you? I could almost open any page and it would be unbelievable that we were in these spaces, both indoors and out. So if you want to add this to your gardening book collection, then by all means, you'll want to do so. It's Bunny Williams' Life in the Garden. We had an hour-long interview. I had an hour-long interview with her, and I could not believe how generous she was in sharing her life, sharing her pilgrimage as a gardener, her ideas about design, about working in the garden, about how one kind of creativity begets another kind of creativity. She was just absolutely lovely. So I hope you enjoyed the interview with her. We did it in the conservatory, in the barn. It's just an offshoot of the barn itself. That was the idea of her husband, John. And well, it was just, like I say, I savored that moment too. And then we spent 5 hours. I can't believe we were there for that long, but we spent 5 hours there. And trust me, the video won't be quite that long. The garden tour won't be quite that long, but you will want to go along with us as we explore all of the different rooms of her garden and her very unique style and aesthetic sensibility. So be prepared to sit down with your beverage of choice. We've been through this before: a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, iced tea, glass of wine, Gatorade, whatever you need, because I think you're really going to enjoy it. And I would even recommend having a sheet of paper and a pen, because I bet you are going to want to take some notes. So here's that book again. We will put links to her different books here. And also, by the way, links are also in the description box below. So if you don't see a link on screen, please go to the description box below and we will share these links, because I know you will want them and you will want to get a glimpse through Bunny's eye at her garden and home. Well, and a little bit more about what's coming up. I'm not sure if it will be up tomorrow or next Tuesday, but I also conducted an interview with my friend and neighbor and former CNN news correspondent, war correspondent, Mike Betcher. So he lives around the corner. We have become friends with Mike and Catherine, and I just did a pretty substantive interview with him. I'm not trying to get into the big podcast world or whatever, but I do think it's really fun for us all to share some insights into the people that live around us, because they all have stories to tell. And boy, does Mike have some stories that range from Iraq to Afghanistan to the Oklahoma City bombing to the Berlin Wall, to how he navigates the stress of all that and the toll it can take on himself and his family. And I think you're going to find it riveting. So depending on editing and different kinds of timelines, it may come up tomorrow, it may go up tomorrow, but it also may go up next Tuesday. So that's one that I want to give you a heads up about. It will come up on a Tuesday, not on one of our regularly scheduled days. So that's something else that's coming up. Okay, the other thing coming up is a very fun and special Wednesday walkabout. So on Wednesday, instead of me walking about in my garden, which I will do here pretty soon, we're going to take a walkabout through New England. We are going to visit some of the most charming towns, charming shops, charming spaces that you have ever seen up in Northwest Connecticut. And well, it's just an absolutely unbelievable area. We ran into Seth Meyers while we were there. We passed by the street or the road that led up to Meryl Streep's home. It is just that kind of space that every area is magical. That much more gorgeous than the other. And these shopkeepers were just so gracious to invite us in and talk a little bit about what they try to offer to their customers. So I think you're going to find it fun. Make special note of the charming quality of Falls Village itself, because nobody does these kind of wildflower meadow gardens, native gardens better than they have done it there. And I kind of, it's a strange thing. It was a little bit schadenfreude, but John told me that the past couple of days, it's been in the hundreds up there for at least one day. So they've hit 100 before we've hit 100. Wow. So I guess if it can look good there, then we can also recreate that same formula here in our public spaces using more native plants to make it look absolutely gorgeous. Some of the homes were just spectacular. The shops, well, I could have bought every other thing. Probably my favorite was one you're going to want to look for called Orangerie. And why? Here's a tease. Oh, I'm in heaven. I am absolutely in heaven.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my word.
Holy smokes.
Because, boy, you talk about topiary.
It was so fun. It's like,
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Special thanks to Liza. Sadly, we didn't get to meet Anthony, but we will be going back. I promise you. John and I our little brains are already working about some more.
Everything topiary.
Everything topiary. I just, let's just say I had the vapors. I just couldn't believe it. And it was the first place we went to. So it definitely set the tone for all of these other charming shops and this absolutely gorgeous part of New England. So a different kind of Wednesday walkabout, but I hope you'll enjoy it.